Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Online teaching can never replace offline teaching method, because I experience the scope of learning, the multidimensional effect on your personality that comes in a offline method, where you spend a couple of years in the campus, interact with so many other students coming from so many other different fields.
The B-School education suddenly came to a screeching halt as the pandemic hit us all. But slowly things are moving towards normalcy as more and more B-Schools are coming up with solutions to tackle the problem at hand. Today we have someone who has been associated with the IMT group of institutions for the last 17 years and will be talking to us about the future of B-School education in the country. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome Dr. Subhajit Bhattacharya today in this conversation, who has been a director at IMT Nagpur for the last 6 years and recently joined IMT Ghaziabad as the director. Welcome Dr. Bhattacharya to this conversation today, and thank you for doing this with us. Dr. Bhattacharya, my first question to you would be, you have been the director of IMT Nagpur for quite some time now, and you took charge of IMT Ghaziabad very recently. Is there any difference in the kind of pedagogy that these two institutions follow?
Actually, as IMT, there is a kind of synergy in terms of the pedagogy that we use, broad the academic delivery processes. There's not much of differences, and which is very much action oriented everywhere.
IMT has campuses in Dubai, Nagpur, Ghaziabad, Hyderabad. And how has this expansion been for the IMT family in the country and outside the country as well?
IMT started in 1980 as a very small business school with 60 students, right? And at one of the farthest corner of what you call now NCR, Ghaziabad, Faggot, or the NCR region. Not many people were willing to come to this place then, because 1980 it was not really a very livable place. So it started with a lot of challenges. And over the period, we have developed it. And now we have an annual enrollment of about close to 3,000 students across all programs, all campuses. That's a very big journey.
So you are joining IMT Ghaziabad at a time when, the whole education system, the whole education sector is going through a sea change that we are seeing. At this point in time, do you think you have added responsibility as a director?
This actually has given us an opportunity to know the other side of our capabilities, which we are not aware of so far. That how to face the challenge, head on, and replicate that offline learning process in the online method. Online teaching can never replace offline teaching method, because I experience the scope of learning, the multidimensional effect on your personality that comes in a offline method, where you spend a couple of years in the campus, interact with so many other students coming from so many other different fields, which you miss in the online method. We can think about offering hybrid method. So some part of it would be offline, some part of it will be online, with absolutely action orientation in the online method also. In fact, we have gained a lot during pandemic.
Major concern right now, apart from how we are going to deliver the education, the other concern is the safety. And everybody is kind of, thinking about, is it safe to go back to a normal B-School life? In this kind of a situation, what is IMT Ghaziabad doing, or IMT as a whole is doing for the administrative staff as well as the students, keeping in mind all the guidelines that are there?
We have already prepared a detailed SOP about how are we going to deal with this situation at every stages. So right from the administration, academics, faculty behavior, how will the mess behave, how will the hostel life be, everything has been detailed out in the SOP. We are ready with IMT Ghaziabad for this post-COVID, start of our campus life.
At this point in time, when we are looking at student-teacher relationship to be also strained because of the digital, boundaries that we have or the limitations we have, what do you think, IMT will be able to do in the future to make sure that this space is not affected?
What you are referring to is correct. That this temporary period of so distance learning, so to say, where you can't come and knock on the door of the faculty and say, ma'am or sir, I can't understand this thing, so please tell me, I am coming up with this idea, can you help me out? Or I am doing this project for the company, can you guide me in this? This is not happening. You are right, but I believe this is absolutely a temporary phase. That is why, so this relationship will remain as it is no matter what, and this relationship will only help students to take up new challenges in their life.
The other thing that they really aspire for, and that's why they go to the business schools for, is the networking that they develop, or the kind of pure learning that they have in that 2 years that they spend in the school. How is IMT going to make sure that this experience does not get lost because of the kind of situation that we are in?
When they come and visit the campus, interact with faculty, sit down with some of the students to have lunch, they carry a different type of experience, a different type of memory with them. That has now been replaced with an online session of 90 minutes. It doesn't allow them to carry the same kind of, and they are also the students, they cannot interact so closely with the industry. So this is actually a very, very challenging area for us to build up during this period of time, and that is why we are desperate to come back to the normal campus life as early as possible, so that we can invite them and facilitate this interaction with students face to face, not really in an online mode.
Dr. Bhattacharya, the other big elephant that is in the house and which is in the mind of a lot of these students is placement. And I'm sure a lot of these students, a lot of these BSchool aspirants also are maybe thinking that whether they should, actually do an MBA this year or skip this year.
Whenever there is a crisis in any country, the education sector thrives. Reason that students who usually lose their job, they join academic programs, right? So they don't want to waste their time. So if you are in the job, you may decide whether to quit and join a program or continue to do the job. And if you are not in the job, obvious choice is go and join an education program. So when you are not engaged in something, prepare yourself for the engagement.
Over the years, IMT and its students, they have been part of organizations that are present, that has presence worldwide. And keeping the situation that we have in mind right now, how confident you are, going forward with the placement seasons also?
The economy is yet to pick up, right? We're just at the very beginning of the recovery process. The lockdown period has ended in June and things have started moving. So we're absolutely at the very early stage of recovery. Everybody is very cautious. So I'm not saying we'll not face any difficulty in placement. We are going to face difficulties in placement this year. But we are strategizing in an appropriate way so that we can, we will be in a position to place all the students gainfully, even during this period, which has happened earlier also. If you remember the financial crisis 2008-2009, but we could place all our students with substantial increase in our average package.
Any final set of advice that you want to convey to the students who want to be part of this thriving BSchool culture that you have developed over the years, and the kind of future that they can look into?
Don't do MBA because your parents are saying or your friends are doing, right? You should join MBA only if you think that it is going to help you in your career, and be sure about choice of field of career. Often people think that the marketing jobs are well paid, so let us go and join marketing profile. More often than not, we have seen people failing. And that fail is at times is irreversible. So therefore, you have to be very clear in your mind as to what you want to do, why you want to do, answer these two questions, and then next step how. So that's how you should proceed with.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bhattacharya, for your time. It was a very enlightening session. I hope the people who are listening to this and the students who are watching this get something out of it and it gives them some value.
Thank you very much for giving me opportunity to share these thoughts. So I hope it helps students in whatever possible way it can. Thank you, and you people are doing great job. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.